It's the run-up to Star Citizen CitizenCon 2021. This is the yearly flagship event that Star Citizen has each year and is a mixture of various presentations, a keynote talking about the direction of the game and the company, a gameplay demo showing the near future sort of things that we can expect from the game, and a fan fest all rolled into one that takes place over a whole day. This year, it's a digital-only live event, watchable for free by anyone that wants to watch it on Twitch on the 9th of October. In fact, Cloud Imperium have said you can expect a full day of events, panels and entertainment, and yes, the cosplay contest is coming back. It promises to be out of this world, or perhaps out of this system. We know that Cloud Imperium are actively holding back and hiding content that they plan to show at CitizenCon, but we do have some indications and rumours and some I reckons and lots of expectations for what they might show and what seems sensible. And we get some of this from the monthly reports and the roadmap, and just some people just saying, I think we're going to see this. And I might have gone, yeah, that's actually something quite plausible. However, before we start with this, I'd be remiss to tell you that since using NordVPN, I feel like I can fight bears. And you can feel that way too. Maybe click the links below. Typically, CitizenCon has 3 big ticket focuses. Presentations on specific features throughout the day. This is the sort of lion's share of the day's entertainment, at least in terms of time spent. It'll be many, many hours. 90% of the sort of event will be focused on this, most likely. And this is going to be things like development and just talking about specific gameplay features, lots and lots of different things. There's also a gameplay demo showcasing plans and near future tech and sort of gameplay for Star Citizen, and a roadmap or keynote update going over more broad strokes and milestone major tech and this sort of stuff that Star Citizen's got planned over the next year or so. Things that they need to hit, want to hit to make the game into an MMO, make the game a reality. Last year, there was no CitizenCon event in 2020, so that was due to the pandemic, pretty much. But 2019, or the CitizenCon 2949 event, was the last one that we had, and it was a physical event as well as being online. I attended that one as well, and it was really cool. It was amazing to be there. The gameplay demo was extremely impressive, showing off the Carrack, which was new at the time, a new mission on New Babbage, where you had to infiltrate a facility and steal data, and then escape to the pyro system using a jump point. Now, that mission that they showed there still isn't properly implemented in game. The location isn't even fully implemented. Well, New Babbage is, and the landing zone is, but they showed like a little facility just outside of New Babbage. And we still don't have the pyro system and jump points, which we are planning to see in the not too distant future. But this showed off a huge amount of new things that were being worked on. A lot of them, however, as I said, still incomplete to this day. We had various presentations on the dynamic universe simulation, planetary tech, microtech, lore, theatres of war, and theatres of war was also previewed and playable on LAN there. I was part of the first group that was able to play Theatres of War, and it was actually pretty good there. It worked very well on LAN. There was also a ship panel. The ship panel was really cool because they talked about 4 ships there before they had names. So the Talon, the Rock, and the Rylan. So these are 3 of the ships they talked about, but they were sort of like talking about them more in concert before they had names and just saying, oh, we want to do a Tavaran fighter. We want to do a little vehicle that's a miner. We want to do a alien Xi'an cargo ship. And they also talked about a 4th vehicle, or ship in this case, a mobile refinery ship, which has yet to be revealed, but we know they've been working on. There was also a panel on prisons and UI and alien languages and more. So the whole event was over around 8 hours, and they had it split across 2 stages, so you could choose what stage you wanted to watch was the idea, though I think on the actual day, you could only watch one of the stages on Twitch, but obviously if you were there physically attending, you could watch either. Sort of like they have this little side stage. Now, those videos went up later on in the month, so you weren't missing anything by not seeing it live, but sort of bear that in mind. They did a 2-stage thing last time. I don't think they're going to do it again this time, though, especially because it's a virtual-only event this time. So yeah, what about this year? So we're going to see various player-made videos and adverts between the presentations. So expect them to interview some devs and have a bit of a chat, probably hosted by Disco Lando again and some of the other people like Tyler and Ulf. But there is a competition requesting player-made videos, backer-made videos that they can show in between segments. One of the things they always like to do is a cosplay competition, and this time they've got a virtual cosplay competition. People have been putting their entries in for that over the last few months anyway. So let's talk a bit more about what I'm expecting to see from the keynote, the presentations, and the gameplay demo. So from the keynote, I'd expect Cloud Imperium to talk about their expanding studios and new focus on different milestones. I'd expect them to talk about server meshing, gameplay loops, bases, and org features being the most important areas, and sort of general game development and what it means for the studio and their sort of like accomplishments over the last few years and where they're going now. Presentation-wise, well, as I said, I don't think they're going to do the two-stage thing like they did in 2019, and I do expect it to be over the full day still, so like 8 hours, but I do expect them to focus on a single stage. There's no point diluting with lots and lots and lots and lots of content when they can just do some much more high-quality ones. So what sort of presentations do we expect to see? Some gameplay loops probably being talked about. Salvage, refueling, mining, science. There's a huge amount of stuff that we require in Star Citizen that they've been working on to some degree, and it'd be nice for them to talk about the plans for any of them, or lots of them, or general development of gameplay loops. The Dynamic Universe Sim. Tony Zorovic showed it off at the 2019 CitizenCon and showed it off earlier this year. In fact, the updates to it, I would expect to see another updated version of the Dynamic Universe Sim and things that they can do with it. This is important for the economics driving of the game, but also the mission spawns and how the game sort of updates and sort of pushes itself forwards, and how the world and universe changes. All very cool stuff. Ship ideas. We had loads of spaceship ideas last time they discussed. For those 4 ships, which 3 of them are now flyable or drivable in-game now. So I'd expect a panel on building spaceships, new spaceship ideas, modularity probably as well. They like modularity. They want to start talking about modularity in a lot more detail for sure. Environments and planetary tech. That's got to be its own panel. AI and NPC tech, server meshing, organization improvements, something probably looking at turbulent, building out gameplay area, theaters of war, where are we now? Pyro, Nyx, just literally a look at them and how they've been built out and their biomes and ruin station, things like that. So all that new gameplay area. We do know that they've been working on Jumptown version 2. We do know that they've been working on player hubs. So these sort of things would be amazing if they can show them off, even if it's just a presentation. Moving on from those, let's talk about the gameplay demo expectations. So this is my personal expectations, I suppose. I mean, it's all my personal expectations and thoughts here, so bear that in mind. But Cloud Imperium have said it promises to be out of this world, or perhaps out of this system. And it makes sense for me that they would start in a new system or go to a new system like Pyro or Nyx. Now, obviously they have been to Pyro in 2019, sort of, but I would actually expect the system to be so much more fleshed out now and not to be faked, that they can go there and they can do a mission there. I think that's what we're almost certainly going to see. Them doing a mission or two, showing off some new gameplay in a couple of these new systems, Pyro and or Nyx. But what ship will be flying around in? Well, it might be a few different things, but I would expect a Redeemer makes the most sense, because the Redeemer's going to be ready around that sort of time. Though things like the Polaris have been rumoured more by the community than myself, though. Lots of people have suggested that the Polaris could be a thing. We know that it was removed from the roadmap, the Polaris, from the progress tracker, and it was supposed to return, but never did. And Cloud Imperium are very much working on various unannounced ships and vehicles. One of them could be the Polaris for CitizenCon. But I think that it's also very possible we might just see something entirely new. However, the other ships that are planned around that 3.15 patch around Q3 around CitizenCon might make it here as well. The Ares, the A2, things like that. And there's been talk about the 400i from Origin, the Mobile Refinery ship, an Argo Raft, an Anvil Capital ship, Titan suits, although I did just add Titan suits in here because I do want to see my little Iron Man powerlifter boys. I'm really excited about Titan suits, that's what I'm saying. We could very well see some or lots of those in the demo, or none of them, but we could also see these things go on concept sale at CitizenCon. That's the sort of thing they might do. They might do a bit of a sale at the same time. Now we're going a bit off topic from what's going to be in the gameplay demo, but they like to show off some of these ships sometimes and then put them on sale. Whether that be concept sale or straight to flyable, we'll have to wait and see. There is a lot of new gameplay potential of what we could potentially see here, though. So typically they want to show a mission and some new gameplay or locations along with that. So we could get hints at salvage, refueling, physical components, ship customization, even deeper medical mechanics. Things like that make the most sense, as well as showing off updated hacking. Now, I heard a rumor about hacking being at CitizenCon. I hope that's true, but I don't know for sure. I like to think they show off a new landing zone and probably the more player-centric hab type stuff. I mean, if they can show off any form of hab customization, or look, these are going to be player habs eventually, these are going to be bases that you can build, or similar, and sort of, it might be steps towards rather than look at the system for it, because they wouldn't have done that yet. And if they did have the system for it, or the plans for that, they'd probably show that in a presentation more than the gameplay demo. But there's a load of Q3 content that they could show off that's part of the 3.15 patch, because it's very likely that 3.15 patch will be released at CitizenCon to go live, or at least be an open PTU. So that makes the most sense. So things like medical gameplay, yeah, they could put that in there, even if it's a bit more advanced medical gameplay, or a medical gameplay mission, something like that, that had you working with an NPC, getting them up, helping them. They're not going to want to do just a raw, well, this is coming in 3.15, bam, there you go. They like to go and do a little bit more than that, show something that's a bit special, show something that's coming out in the future, and they've got the ability to do that in a much more secure and contained, focused environment when they sort of like have it at these presentations at CitizenCon or whatever, because it doesn't have to be working online. They can just have it working on a dev build, bam, they can do something much more impressive. I'd also expect to see something new with NPCs and AI tech-wise. Someone suggested to me the potential for animals, and that's very possible, even if it is more faked. We do know that they've been working on Space Whales for Crusader, Yeti for Microtech, and Crabs for Pyro, but I would love to see any form of NPC crew or AI modules in player ships. If I can see something like that, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. Beyond that, and the day mostly being a fan fest and just a general sort of celebration of Star Citizen, probably a bit of a recruitment event, probably a bit of a ship sale going on at the same time, I wouldn't expect much more. That gameplay demo and some of those presentations, and to an extent the keynote, yeah, super important and help drive Star Citizen forward and go, oh, there's some stuff to be hyped about, but it is not, at least in my opinion, going to be super groundbreaking. It's not going to be like, oh my god, this was the best thing ever. It'll be, yeah, this is pretty cool, hopefully. That's what I want. I want to feel pretty cool afterwards. And something that I would love to see is a traditional advertising campaign start for Squadron 42. That is much more of a long shot. I would just like to see some Squadron 42, sort of like a trailer or something new from Squadron, just to say, look, Squadron is very much still here. We know that Cloud Imperium are planning to finish it out next year. That's why Chris is going to the UK at the end of this year or start of next year. And yeah, I'd like to see something from Squadron 42. I did think that Squadron 42 was going to start its more traditional advertising campaign last year, but the Doom virus happened and then everything slowed down. And Star Citizen generally takes away my dreams, smashes them, and then delays them slightly. And by slightly, I mean several years occasionally. I am still pretty hyped for CitizenCon. It is typically the best event of the year, and I am looking forward to it because I love what they show off. Typically, it's pretty awesome, and it gives an indicator of where the game's going and what Cloud Imperium have got planned. And yeah, I get hyped. I'm a monster. Me and Zinner will probably be covering the whole event live and in video format summaries as well. So you can look forward to that. But I'm really interested to know what you think. What do you think we will see at CitizenCon 2021, 2951, or whatever they're going to call it? It's both. What ships would you love them to sail or go on sale or show at CitizenCon? What gameplay would you love to see? What new gameplay mechanics do you want them to show off? Where do you think it's going to be set? Is it going to be in the next system? Is it going to be in the Pyro system? Is it going to start in Stanton and then move somewhere else? Are my expectations far too wild for this world? Whatever your thoughts, though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Mummy, I'm going to play Star Citizen when I get home. Well, little Timmy, you can't because hackers stole our house.
This is a story I hear only too often. It was just one day before these two were going to get NordVPN. Now they have to live on the streets. Don't let that be you. Get NordVPN in the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For August, we are giving away a Mercury Star Runner, the fantastic multi-crew hauler data mission runner, allowing you to do a little bit of everything the Star Citizen has to offer. To be in for a chance of winning that, comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the links below. If you'd like to further support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. the join button down below. You'll get some exclusive videos and content each month, and it really does help us keep going. There is also the new thanks button under my videos for another way of throwing money at us. Both me and Zin appreciate all the support for the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.